Hi guys, my name is Namsha, and I just wanted to share one or two things around conversations that I've been having with friends, and that's really around voting. All right, and been having this conversation, as I said earlier on, with friends, with Uber drivers, and just a whole myriad of people. And it was really around the time that we were having the national shutdown, and protests, and the conversation was more around how do we have sustainable change in South Africa? Protests and marches are key and important for our democracy, and and they need to be held as such, and they need to continue. However, South Africa is at a point where we need sustainable change. We need change happening in this country, and there needs to be change one way or the other. And we need to start moving in a place or a space where the people are the ones that are governing again. All right. And so in this conversation, two main things kind of came up. And the first one is around my vote. My vote doesn't matter. And really, who do I even vote for? If I can't vote for the one, if I don't want to support the one that I've always wanted to support, that I've got loyalty to, then I what's the point of voting? I'm not even going to vote, right? Or I am going to punish the party that I usually vote for by not voting. Okay, fine, fair. I respect people's opinions and I respect people's decisions. Um, However, one of the things that came to mind around that is just the power and the importance of us understanding when we say amandla ngawethu, the power is ours. The power is ours as a collective, and I think we kind of get that. But I think one of the things that we underestimate is the fact that there is no collective power without the individual power, right? So what I mean by that is before there is amandla ngawethu, there needs to be first a belief that amandla ngawam, right? That I matter in this bigger revolution, that I matter in this big evolution and power that is happening, right? And so if we take that and we realize that in the last local government elections in 2021, I think about 12 million South Africans showed up to vote. And according to an article that I read, don't know, you can check your facts, or you can check it out. South Africa seemingly has approximately 40 odd million South Africans that are eligible to vote, which means that approximately 30 million South Africans had a reason or another not to vote. So let's say their reason is pretty much the same, which is my vote doesn't matter. Now, if one person, if I believe in my house, in my place, that my vote doesn't matter, what that's telling me is that there could potentially be 30 million South Africans that are thinking the exact same thing. And so, obviously, when I'm sitting in my house, I'm just thinking it's just me and maybe a million other South Africans and maybe 5 million. No, it's not 5 million. It's 30 million other South Africans that say that they vote doesn't matter. Now, what does that do to the collective power? The collective power of South African votes is 46 million. This is for about 46 million voters. By saying 30, if 30 million individuals don't believe that their vote matters, don't believe that their power matters, then that decreases the power of our power, or that decreases the strength of our power as a collective from a revolution of 46 million to a flame of 12 million people. And so what that means is that whatever change that we drive, and I honestly believe that if 46 million South Africans year in and year out, or at every elections, whether local government or national elections, come out to vote, we would see a change. And maybe that change won't come across or come through the way that we had initially envisaged, right? But the change will come because the people are starting to believe that they are the ones that are governing. All right. So my thing is to say we all need to think that I am part of the power. I make the revolution stronger. And if you are not there, the power and the revolution cannot get to where it needs to get to without you. All right. So that's the first one. And then the second one is Well, I used to vote, there's a party that I'm loyal to, and people I suppose they can be loyal to whoever they want to be loyal to. This is not about any particular party, please. I don't care who's in power, whether you're red, you're green, you're pink, you're blue, you're black, you're white. I don't care. We just need change in this country, right? And and so you say you've been loyal to a certain party, and now that you don't, the party isn't delivering, so you're just not going to vote, right? This is the thing. When we are voting, on voting day, it is an exchange of power. We said earlier on that the power belongs to the people. The power belongs to the people, not politicians, not government, not the president, right? The president and everybody else that's in government has what is called proxy power. They are there to govern on the behalf of the people, right? So when they came to the people and said, I want your vote, and we said, okay, what is the exchange? Voting day is an exchange, right? You promise me what it is that you are going to do when you are in government. You are going to govern for the people. You are going to govern on behalf of the people. You are going to govern and make sure that there's quality education, quality health, law, protection, safety in this country, a whole lot of public goods. All right. So you make your promises. And on voting day, we are it's a transfer. I give you my vote for you to be a proxy for it, for you to use it on my behalf, and I hold on to your promises. Right. Now, the one part, seemingly in South Africa, one thing that happens is the exchange of the power. Right. The power goes through to the politicians, but somehow as South Africans, we are somehow left with always wondering, Kutu, where is my delivery of the exchange on that day? Right. And so what needs to be happening is, instead of, yes, I am loyal to you, allowed to be loyal to whoever, whatever. The question that needs to come next is, before I give you my vote again, before I make you responsible again for you to govern, not just me, but for you to govern on my behalf, I need to know, where are we with the promises that you say that you're going to make me? You cannot keep on making me promises upon promises and you're delivering on nothing. And also, you cannot keep on making me promises upon promises and delivering on the bare minimum. And apparently, I'm supposed to be happy. And this business of us having an exchange where politicians get exchanged and they drive Range Rovers, and the people of South Africa get given 350 rand a month, is just, it's ludicrous. Right? I'm not underestimating, please don't get me wrong, the 350 rand in any shape or form. It adds to, it makes it. However, what I'm advocating for is that as a country, we have the ability to do way more for our people than simply give them 350 rand a month. We have the ability as a country that can actually be governed and actually work properly to make sure that South Africans have got jobs, our children have quality education, we have a bare minimum of quality health that is happening in this country, our borders are working. There is a bare minimum, and the bare minimum cannot be told to us by politicians who promised us the sky and give us nothing afterwards. And so what I'm advocating for is, loyalty is great, but it's always important to be loyal to people that are loyal to you. But that's a conversation for another day. But loyalty is important. But mixed with loyalty, to get this country to go to the next level, is that we've got to hold the people that we are loyal to and that we have given proxy to accountable. We have to ask them to tell us what they have delivered on. And this is the key thing, if we are not happy, if you are not happy with how they have delivered, you have the right to give another party, anybody, the opportunity to govern. And if we need to do this, where by the time we do this, we have 5 different parties that we've put in power in 20 years, it doesn't matter, until our politicians understand that they are there to govern. They are there to make sure that this country works. They are there to make sure that basic goods, public goods, are actually done. That it is not okay for us to be having conversations about corruptions year in, year out. Meanwhile, the people that have asked them to govern, right, they're turning back and telling us, there's no corruption. Meanwhile, year in, year out, nothing is actually being delivered. Communities for the past 30 years are still without water. Meanwhile, 2 billion rand has been given to an entire community for that community to have water. But somehow we're going to vote for that. No, I don't care who you vote for. I don't mind. It's okay. It's up to you. It's your vote. It's your voice. You're entitled to use it. But what I'm advocating for is that as a country, we move from loyalty to outcomes-based voting. What did you deliver on, my guy? You had 2 years. Okay. The promise you made me was very big. It was very, it needs about 5 years or 10 years for you to get to. What are the milestones? When you are making me the promises, I'm going to need you to not just hype me up. I am going to need what you're going to do. What are the milestones that in 5 years, this is what's going to be happening in this space? Year 1, year 2, year 3, so that I can hold you to account for it. And if you do not deliver to it, we are humble, my guy. We are humble, my lady. That is how I believe, or I'm advocating. I might be wrong. I might be right. I might be wrong. But that's how I am believing that as a country, we need to start shifting and moving so that we start seeing that our voice matters as an individual, and that our politicians start realizing that they are there to serve on behalf of the people, that they are leading on behalf of the people, and it is their responsibility to make sure that they deliver. It is not my problem as a citizen who has given you proxy power, whether the people that you decided to put in power don't know how to do their jobs. That's not my problem. It is your responsibility to make sure that the people that you put in power know how to do the job, because once the job doesn't get done, I am not taking the excuse that you or your people or whoever you decided to put in power did not deliver. That's not my problem. That's your problem. That's not a me problem. That's a you problem. My thing is, you said that you were going to deliver. You didn't deliver. Why you didn't deliver has nothing to do with me. And therefore, 5, 4, 3, 2, your time is out. Or goodbye, you are the weakest link. And give you some time to go and think through what you actually need to have in place before you make promises. What you actually need to get in place before you govern. Because I will hold you as a party, as an individual, to account. And if you do not deliver, because I require you to deliver on the promise. I gave you my part. I exchanged. It is time for you to exchange. And so I just hope that, we start having the conversation around how do we do this differently? What conversations do we need to have? Because I am very clear, and I'll have maybe additional conversations around this, around some communities that I've seen that have actually done this over the last couple of years, around holding the municipalities to account and using their vote, a collective vote, and coming together. And I'll have some of those conversations around some of those stories. And we have actually seen, just some of this actually working. And so yeah, I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope it forms a conversation. As I said, I might be right, I might be wrong. It's just an idea. And so yeah, cheers. Goodbye.